Welcome back, folks, to Let's Replay Realms of the Haunting. When last we left off, Adam had managed to penetrate the heart of the mausoleum and encounter Alf, a friendly spirit and the last of the Fulshire Knights, who gave Adam some very cryptic assistance, but assistance nonetheless, stating especially that the Shrive could only be held by those who were marked to hold it, like Adam is now that his hands have been branded. He also stated that people were actually out to kill him, a few of them actually, not just Elias Camber, although that would actually explain about the Shrive why Elias Camber didn't just take what he potentially wanted from Adam, if, that is, Elias Camber wants the Shrive, because if he's not marked for holding the Shrive, it would kill him. After getting all the information from Alf, and being told that we should not only find the tower, but also find items that are linked to Alf, we fled from the mausoleum, basically because it was then being infested with enemies, and we could simply avoid fighting them. We also found one of the gold leaf statuettes, but on our way out, and when we got into the room where Adam's father had basically appeared, we met someone, Rebecca Trevisard. We've seen Rebecca Trevisard in dreams, and in actual fact, Rebecca Trevisard is now with us. For the long term. Rebecca Trevisard is not a combatant, but she will most certainly give her opinion on what's going on, and she's pretty knowledgeable. And that's what this video is all about. Rebecca Trevisard has a lot to say about all of the things that we've picked up, and we have picked up quite a few items, and while in videos going forward from this one, Rebecca Trevisard will be here to actually provide her commentary on this, we actually have a lot of things that we've looked at before that we don't have her opinion on. And that's what this video is going to be about. There's going to be no actual gameplay progress here. It's going to be Adam and Rebecca talking not only about things they've already looked at, but also a few new topics that have come up due to the things in the mausoleum. So, let's start with the stuff that's in our bag here. The shards and seals. There are a few things that can be talked about here, as I recall.
What do you make of these fragments? They seem to possess an inner power.
You're not wrong. There's tremendous magic contained in these at one point. Even though the residual magic is faint, the signature is blinding.
There was a lot of magic in those at one point.
These fragments have some kind of occult markings, runes or something.
They are occult symbols. Seals designed to capture the essence or quality of a spiritual power. A magic symbol that possesses a power of its own.
Ah, and that now has opened up a lot more conversation topics. And that's why you want to talk to Rebecca about these things, because she has a lot to say.
Where else are seals used? What would be their function?
Most people think they're used only in rituals to summon demons. Those people are narrow-minded. Dangerous, not only to themselves.
Now, one thing that can be noted is that Adam Randall is very, very accepting of all the information that's being told here, but right now he doesn't have much reason to disbelieve it. Also, notice here, I just noticed in this actual menu window here, there is actually a Shrive here, in the actual border of this window. I've only just noticed that. Let's talk about these here.
Fallen angels. Sounds dubious. As a child, I remember Dad telling me the story of Lucifer being cast out of heaven. Theologically speaking, I always felt Lucifer was misunderstood.
Adam?
And now we can actually talk about demons.
I always thought we created our own demons. I'm beginning to wonder.
Demons. The servants of the fallen angels and their master. Hideous creatures of the shadows.
I wonder if the, I'm not sure the reflection is actually changed by, Rebecca being here. I think this is more of an internal reflection.
These fragments, the seals.
Yeah, that one's not actually changed. The reflection is not actually changed. The lamp and the matchbox have nothing interesting added. Neither does the study key.
Metallic orb. Feels alive.
Probably because there's a magical power connected to it.
Indeed. What about this key?
Iron key.
No markings.
No markings indeed. Let's move on to the weapons.
Colt 45. Semi-automatic handgun.
Know your guns, don't you?
Yes, he does. As evidenced here.
Shotgun. Winchester. M1897 slide action 12-gauge shotgun. To be exact.
Do be careful where you point that, Adam.
He's always careful where he points the shotgun.
There are faint markings down this. Almost tribal.
No, she's got nothing to say about that. All the sword.
Cartridges. For a shotgun.
Nothing there either.
There's a label on this. Colt trademark.
Now all you need is a gun.
We have a gun.
Dragon. This is scorched quite badly.
Quite recently, too.
Recently? What about these masks?
Japanese.
Oh, we can actually talk about masks.
I know a little about kabuki theater, but nothing about the tradition of masks. What was it you said about masks?
Well, masks were originally worn to create a different personality. In some cultures, it's believed that the wearing of masks for any purpose should be considered carefully, in case the wearer should turn into the personification of the actual mask.
Oh. What about this one?
Wooden voodoo mask.
God, these things give me nightmares.
Is there anything different here?
I know a little about kabuki. What was it you...
There's nothing different there.
Theatrical mask.
Made from porcelain.
Now, the Shrive is going to have a lot of conversation about it. Let's talk about the Shrive. We can't actually look at it. All we can do is reflect on it.
Curious. The design in the center of this shrive is the same as the marks branded into my hand.
Okay, there's actually no actual topic there yet. I thought there was a lot more to be said there, but not just yet.
It's got some sort of liquid in it. Any ideas?
Yes, it's magical. Healing, I believe.
I think she says that regardless of what actual item it is, so if it's that one, she'll say the same thing. There are a few things here that we could look at.
Typed.
Nothing there, though.
There's something sticking out of the pages.
Looks like a newspaper cutting.
It is a newspaper cutting. What about this one?
There's something written on this.
Looks old and faded.
It is quite old, but not by too much. And there's nothing to be said for the mausoleum map.
No address or postage. Sent it too. Very nice.
Nothing there either. What about this parchment?
The symbol on this is the same as the marks on my hands.
Oh, nothing there. And now, finally, people. There's actually two new conversation topics for people. There's Alf and Rebecca Trebizard herself. Let's talk about Adam Randall first. Let's talk about these brands.
Look at my hands. The marks look like burns, but they don't hurt. I can't understand.
Adam, there is a power connected to the brands and that odd device you found in the mausoleum. The Shrive.
Ah, fair enough. What about Adam's father?
When my father appeared to me, he was wearing a stone around his neck. A pendant? He said it was his jailer.
I know little of that, Adam, save that it binds and keeps him here. The essence of the stone is all around. It seems to come from everywhere, every corner and shadow.
That's not encouraging for our chances of being able to actually free him, but that doesn't mean we won't try. Let's discuss this sarcophagus.
The sarcophagus. Think there's anything inside? I'm not sure if I want to find out. If the lid was designed to be opened like a door, there'd be telltale marks on the stone. Hinges or something.
There's something there all the same. Powers. And they seem to be connected with stasis, movement, and great distance. A sort of runic association.
That is a lot to actually glean just from the appearance of the sarcophagus. But then again, Rebecca can see things that Adam can't. Let's talk about Alf. There's a lot to talk to concerning Alf.
Do you know anything about the holy relics Alf spoke of?
Being a knight of the ancient world, Alf would be tied to his equipment with a bond stronger than word.
Yep.
What do you know of the Falshire Knights?
I once read of a battle fought between a company of rogue Templars and a group of knights, which I believe were of the Falshire order. But I'm not sure where the battle was fought.
Fair enough.
What do you think Alf meant when he said, to go with open eye?
Isn't it obvious? Look at my pendant.
Ah. We're going to be talking about that pendant soon enough.
Wings of angels? Mean anything to you, Rebecca?
Wherever there is evil, there is always the light. Perhaps it's nothing, but I think his words speak of a location or an item connected to angels.
Fair enough. The Sword of the Dragon.
The Sword of the Dragon, held aloft as a beacon?
There are many stories connected to dragons. St. Michael battling Lucifer during the fall from heaven comes to mind.
Okay. The Voyage to the Tower, however.
Alf mentioned a voyage to the tower.
I can't be sure, but I don't recall the house having any towers.
Perhaps it's not a literal tower. At this point, I think I can pretty much accept anything.
Alf seems to want to help. Can I trust him? I need to trust someone, for sanity's sake. Go with open eye. The wings of angels, sword of the dragon, voyage to the tower? What does it all mean?
Not surprisingly, Adam, you're going to figure out what all of this means in due time. Also, we can now actually look at that pendant. Let's actually look at that pendant.
Rebecca's pendant feels strangely close.
Now, let's talk about Rebecca. There's actually a lot to ask about Rebecca.
Hope you don't mind me asking, but where do you come from?
Here and there. I'm always on the move being a lecturer.
A lecturer?
Rebecca, do you have any family?
I did. A long time ago.
Oh.
I hardly remember them. What about you, Adam? Do you have any other family?
We might as well answer. There's no reason not to.
Only my mother. My parents separated when I was very young.
What happened?
No, why don't we just tell her? There's no harm after all.
You know, people grow apart sometimes. Dad always had more time for the church than his family. Mother moved back home to Canada. I never saw Dad much after that. I met him briefly 4 years ago when I was on a student exchange. It was an awkward meeting. He changed a lot, but it was too late. For both of us.
It's never too late, Adam.
Sounds like the voice of experience.
Considering the fact that he's dead and yet we're still talking to him, I think she has a point.
That was a nice demonstration of the paranormal. Do you only read minds? Can you make objects move, project thoughts, bend spoons?
There are many aspects to the paranormal, Adam. Many things one should know. That sensitives, faculty X, intuition, the noosphere. What do you want to know?
There is a lot to talk about. Let's start with psychokinesis.
Psychokinesis, PK, is the direct influence of a mind on a physical system without the mediation of any known physical energy.
Okay, what about dimensions?
We see three-dimensional space around us in the physical world. Well, many regard the psychic world as four-dimensional, the fourth being a place where an individual may move from one place to another.
And lucid dreams?
In lucid dreams, the dreamer is aware of dreaming and can decide whether to continue the dream or end it. So, the dreamer essentially manipulates the dream.
Fair enough. What about sensitives?
Sensitives are those who are sensitive to impressions that are not normally perceived by the average person. Such a person is commonly known as a psychic.
And now, Faculty X.
Faculty X is the mental power used to loosen the hold which our present surroundings have on our attention. The power can also be used to become aware of other places, other times, and other realities.
Fair enough. What about intuition?
Intuition is a sudden knowing, independent of any logical thought process, and often, even at first sight, contrary to logic.
Are you telling me I'm psychic?
And finally, the Noosphere.
The noosphere, or mind sphere, is the term for the network of thought which some people believe surrounds the Earth and links all humanity.
Fair enough. I don't think there's anything else to actually say there. And I think, with all of that, if we look here, there's nothing else to actually say there. I think we've pretty much gone through absolutely everything. Now that we've gone through all of these different descriptive items, we can now move forward with Rebecca actually being in the party. Now she'll actually be able to describe her stuff when she's actually there. And we'll be able to have the conversations and all the debate and discussion without having to do it in one large chunk like we did just here. So, when we come back, folks, we'll continue exploring and see if we can find something to put in that strange, glowing orb that we found in a room just embedded in the ground. That orb is actually pretty important. In fact, I'd say that many of the places that we go to in this game are very important, but that one is very important for the immediate. So, I'll catch you next time, folks, and I'll see you then. Later.